Hi, my name is Emily Erlam and I studied at the London College of Garden Design about 10 years ago now, and now I run a small practice in Shoreditch. We make private gardens and some commercial landscapes, and right now, like everybody else, I'm working from home, which is a real pleasure and has its fair share of challenges, but it's a great opportunity to be able to show you where I work and my garden. This is where I keep my books. I spread them out and I leave them out for a period of days or weeks depending on what kind of project I'm working on, and it's next to the garden, so it's a really nice place to just take a calm moment and try and fill my head with beautiful design ideas. So it doesn't matter what book I read, it depends on the project, but there's two books I do really love that I use as a bit of a Bible. One is Dream Plants by Henk Gerritsen and Piet Oudolf, and that is fantastic because it has a range of perennials that are really fabulous to use, all really tried and tested plants, and that's just been re-released, so you could get the new version of that. And then this one I love to use by Oliver Filippi, and I think because we're moving towards lower irrigation, it's really important to get your head around the kind of plants that will survive in dry climates and perhaps in gardens that we're making that aren't naturally to be gardened, for example roof terraces. And Oliver Filippi's got a really refreshing approach to dry gardening in the south of France. It's not only beautiful, his style, but very well considered, very thought about. So I do think that that's a great book to get. This is the garden. So we're in London. It's a north-facing garden and it's long and thin. So when I arrived about 14 years ago, I created different levels so you could catch the sun at different times of the day. So this is the first level, and this is viewed from the living room. So I've used a lot of evergreen here and got plants right up to the living room glass, so you get this feeling of inside-outside space. This is the east-facing wall with a Stachyris praecox, which has beautiful acid catkins first thing in the spring when you're least expecting it. Such a stunning, handy plant that I first saw in Wisley, but I don't think that it's there anymore. It was wall trained on the beautiful building. Some shady planting. Bulbs pop through there in the spring, and sometimes I get some shady lilies, orange lilies in the autumn. And then this is the sunnier wall. So I've got a myrtle with a lovely cinnamon bark that I'm loosely cloud pruning. And then the other plant to create structure is a hawk's head fuchsia. And then I'm battling on with this beautiful Eden rose. It's a deep cream double cup with a fluoro pink edging to the rose. It's really stunning, and I saw that once in the south of France, so I've been working on that for a few years. It's not looking good yet, but it will. In a few weeks' time it will look quite impressive. And then up to the next level, I like the way you push through plants and it feels like you're going on a jungle journey. And here we have, it's quite a sunny area this, but it's actually underneath a crabapple tree. So you can sit in this outdoor lounge area and you're not bothered by the sun or the shade, or you're not chasing anything, it's easy to sit there all day long. And so that's flanked by evergreens, some pots by Hode Pottery in Kent. And then another pot by Atelier Vierkant in Belgium. And it's quite contemplative, this area. It's a nice place to have small social gatherings. I've been experimenting with Virginia, and that's a rather fancy one from Cotswold Garden Flowers. I really like the way the leaves break the lines, and I've been using them by steps. So this is another Virginia that I'm trying to track down more of, actually, because this one has very pale pink blossom in the spring. It's over now, but it does look really fabulous. And then the next level, this is a slightly hotter area, and this plant is framed by the Cercis candensis forest pansy, which behind it has got a Rosa mutabilis, and I often plant the two together because it makes a lovely set of colours. Underneath we've got a rock rose, Tulipa springii, and some of these really great Verbascum phaeum violetta, which grow very early and so look so lovely with all the bright greens of the flush new growth. On the left hand side I'm starting a shady planting, and it's a new wall from the neighbours, so along here I'm actually going to put a tank water feature which you can experience from this area here, which is a very snug little area to sit amongst plants. The euphorbia I'm using is Euphorbia stygianus, and on the back wall will grow round a bright pink rose. I can't remember which variety it is, but it's got a lovely strong smell. And then this iris, usually there's lots of these, this year seems to only be one, is Dutch chocolate. It's absolutely fantastic. It's statuesque and creates a lot of drama. And we've got some angelicas to come and some lavender and things, and then grasses for the autumn. Here we've got a diorama to come and some little grasses, and then going on to the new area I'm creating at the back, pushing past these enormous echium which are literally taking over. I like the idea of having to push past plants. I think it's fun. So here's a bit more sunny and a bit more Mediterranean. That's going to be an albizia tree. It comes out quite late, but it's got lovely frondy leaves and creates a dappled shade. And then in the back I've got quite a lot of plants that are going to get big and lush. So this should all be feeling quite lush around here, and it's going to be a fire pit. And I've created this paving. It's a bit of an experiment, but I'm rather into it. I found these great big slabs of limestone, and they're called scarps, and they're from an English quarry basically. Before they start cutting the lovely slices of limestone, they take these slabs off to create a nice clean edge. So I got those craned over the back, lots of swearing as you can imagine, and then I jointed them together with matching pitchers. So it's the same stone, tumbled pitchers, and it joints it all together and creates kind of interesting patio area. It needs a good old clean. And then this is my new obsession. It's a pineapple broom, and so it should fill the whole wall with these lovely sage leaves, and then big fat yellow, bright yellow, fragrant pom-pommy flowers. And the other thing I'm getting into is buddleia. So this buddleia I fan trained, and it's a black knight, so I'm hoping we'll have lovely pendant like flowers hanging off each of these stems, and I think in a way it's going to echo the shape of the flowers of the echium, which I think could be rather nice. Melianthus major. And then so this is the view, although the sun's going to be a bit in the image, but this is the view back from this nice private seating area. Nice to share my garden with you.